All this week we're talking about CTE and how concussions affect athletes, not only in the NFL, all athletes, all ages. Today we're talking about how to keep your kids safe. Now I'd like to welcome the commissioner of the San Diego Youth Football and Cheer Organization, Philip Lomax. Welcome to Primetime, Philip.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming here. So, I mean, this is a big issue. We know our beloved Junior Seau had CTE. They're now able, there's new technology where they're able to detect it while football players are still alive. They don't have to wait to do autopsies. And there's new evidence that shows that you can have these tau proteins and Alzheimer's type situations way before, like in the youth of getting your heads, you know, concussions and whatnot. Sure. So what are you guys doing in your organization to help prevent this type of situation?
Well, the biggest thing to prevent CTE type symptoms or TBI and just in general is ensuring that the kids are properly equipped. So we do a lot of training with that with Rydell and Zenith, our helmet manufacturers, and then training the coaches and parents on proper detection of concussion symptoms, proper ways to play the game without using your head. USA Football and the Chargers.
I like that because, you know, we've had expert doctors here, and it really, they can make the helmet better, and they have over the years with the cowboy collars and whatnot. But it's the brain bouncing off the skull that is what's causing the problems.
Correct.
So you could protect the skull, but the brain is still getting shocked.
Sure, helmets don't prevent concussions.
So to you know, train these kids that they can be just as effective without using their heads, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's huge.
Absolutely. There's a lot of different programs out there, but the NFL, the Chargers, USA Football, they've developed a heads-up football training system that all of our coaches are required to take. They're all required to complete the CDC course on concussions. That information goes out to our parents. They're educated on what concussion symptoms look like. And then the biggest piece for long-term effects is ensuring that there's no return to play. You know, no kid goes back in the game if they have a concussion symptom. They can't return to the practice field until they've been cleared by a doctor. And then once they've been cleared by the doctor, then they're also able to go through a process of evaluation and
I mean, like, how can you not use your head? Look at bam on your head, bam on your head. So what? I mean, they hit hard. This is so. What are the symptoms, and what do you tell the parents? Because the thing is, like the NFL, a lot of these players, they were warriors, and they would convince the trainers, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm ready to go back on the field. You know, they'd be able to convince these guys that they were ready way before they were ready. And so then you get even worse scarring in the brain. So what do you tell the parents? How do you look? Because you can't, the kid's going to want to go play.
Absolutely. So it starts with a cultural change. You know, the kids, we starting to get them to understand that your long-term health is more valuable than that next play is, and the season's more valuable than that next play is. So we change the culture in that way so the kids understand that their health, they've got to be healthy to play and contribute for a good, successful season, not just today. And then our coaches understand what symptoms to look for, whether it be dizziness, or we do baseline testing at the start of the season. We use sideline assessments to check for cognitive awareness and actual physical acuity to see how they walk and respond to different stimuluses. So we have a whole battery of tests that we can use.
What parents watching you now, Philip, is there a website that they can go to do the checks? Because not all coaches are going to be perfect. Not all coaches are going to be that attentive to every parent, or not every parent's going to ask the right questions. Is there a source that they can refer to that would
Sure, absolutely. The CDC is a great resource. They can go to the CDC website on Heads Up information. They can get all of that there. They can go to our website to get links to USA Football, also through the Chargers website. They have a ton of information on concussions and assessments. And then the SCAT-3, which has been developed now for youth assessments by medical professionals, they can find that online as well, and it'll give them a good tool to use.
And I know, folks, the NFL football, you know, it's a full contact sport. It's getting a lot of heat for CTE, but you know what? My daughter played lacrosse and field hockey, and she got multiple concussions doing that, and it would drive me crazy. But it's in every sport, whether you're an ice skater, you know, cheerleading.
Cheerleading.
Yeah, it happens in cheerleading.
Bike riding, you know, bike riding. People like to go to the desert here. A lot of injuries from off-road vehicles, Girls soccer is a high rate of concussion. So a lot of sports, not just football, especially ones with less equipment, are much more prone to concussion injuries or any kind of TBI injuries.
Well, knowledge is power, and it is a cultural change, and they are finding that there's a link to genetic factors as well, because there are people who've had multiple concussions and they're fine. They haven't been affected later.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
But you know what? Be cautious.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on. Is there anything that you could add to help our viewers?
Well, just the key thing is awareness. Make sure the parents are aware, players are aware of how to approach the game, how to play it safely, and then be aware of not returning to play too soon. Be sure you're cleared by a doctor before they come back to the field. Be sure that they're aware of the proper procedures for return to play. CDC outlines some great information on that. Those will be the key things.
And they have to get a doctor's note.
Yeah, absolutely. They have to be cleared by the doctor before we even begin the return to play protocol. And then there's a slow, gradual return to actual participation. So
thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.